Size doesn't matter. It's about how you use it. But this ain't it. This is just a weird kit. I genuinely hate that the screen cutout is not centered. It's so ugly. Like, maybe if you remove the Game Boy Color logo, it'd be fine. But the logo is there, so nothing centered. The drop-in display is centered by default, but size does matter to some people. And if you're looking for an extra 0.15 inches out of your boys, I still don't recommend this one. The other two IPS kits about this size use the Q5 display, and everything is centered with the logo in mind. So it looks good even while turned off. But once you get it going, it looks even better. None of these kits require soldering anymore, but this one has no soldering whatsoever. And because of that, everything goes through the touchpad. Tap it to cycle brightness levels and long press to cycle grid line options. It's not my favorite, but it works fine. Sadly, the screen is only drop-in if you use their shells, and they are high quality as the name says, but they're also super glossy, and glossy shows every little micro scratch. What is nice is even without a soldered power line, it still gets brighter than the drop-in kit, and the colors are way better too. But the Q5 displays just get brighter and dimmer, and in my opinion, they have the best colors. I'm gonna save the battery life testing for my bigger comparison video, so get subscribed so you can see that when it comes out. There's where we can see who lasts the longest. All jokes aside, this kit is fine, but I just don't understand why it exists. It feels like a lazy copycat of the Q5 kits, because it's slightly bigger, it requires its own special shell, or a significant amount of trimming. So you'd have to actively want this kit for it to make sense for you to buy, and I just don't know who would. Alright, I'm done reaching for the low-hanging fruit. Let's go quickly teach you how to install this. Let's just bust this one out. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tri-wing screws as usual, and we're good. We can just take this off. And then we have 1, 2, 3 Phillips heads to take out of there. They're JIS, but Phillips works fine. Once we have all those screws out, we can take our thumbs and get our fingernails under these two clips. We can push up. You can also pull up if that's not working, and then you should be able to push it out with your thumb if it's a little stuck. You can grab your screwdriver and pull it out. Now you can grab the cart slot and just pull up. This is a little bit stuck. That's nice. And I pre-clean and fix everything I need to when I get my Game Boys in, but now would be the time to clean up your board with some IPA. Use a toothbrush, preferably a friend or family member's because you don't want to use yours. Get both sides, get in the cart slot, and if you've never cleaned your power switch before, you should probably do that because it's probably a little gunky. I've got multiple shorts and full videos on how to do that, linked down below. But from here, let's set this down and let's get out our new mod kit. Here is the shell, and oh, that is got a glossy finish. Did not expect that. And it's from Cloud Game Store, so the shielding's not installed. Ooh, and we can get the rest of our stuff out. The stickers, the screws, the buttons, the membranes, that. Let's go ahead and put all the fixings in. Take our battery cover off, and then we can just slide this in on the right side. And since this slides in and out really easily, we're gonna push this tab in the middle out a little bit. That way, when we put this in, should be locked in there. The other thing we got to do is get out our screws in this tiny bag. I'm just going to unload all the plastic bags real quick. And then we can take our shielding. We can place it down like so. So we're going to take the 4 smaller Phillips heads and put them in these 4 spots here. Never mind, they made all the Phillips head the same size. Okay. And that should be all of the back half completed. You can put your battery cover on there for now. And we can get out the front half again. Place that down like that. And here is the double-sided tape that we're going to use to secure the screen down in the shell. I'm going to place it down just like this, but with the tape peeled. And then I'm just going to push down on all the sides so it really gets stuck on there. And then we should be able to just push that square all the way through. Okay, so you can still see the sides of it a little bit, but thankfully this should be a clear tape. So we can peel the other side just like that. And you shouldn't really see it once the screen is in. I'm going to take the PCB and the LCD and smush them together like that. Well, we're going to plug this in first. It'll make it a lot easier. For this clip, it opens up on the back. So if it's not lifted up already like this, you're going to want to do that. And we're going to shove the screen ribbon cable in like that, as far as it can go, which looks like that far. And then we're gonna go ahead and lock that tab down, which will allow us to fold it over like so. Then we're gonna take this little piece of ribbon cable and plug it into the other one. But we're gonna do it with the pins down like this, and then lock that tab down as well. Now I'm gonna take this double-sided tape from earlier, the hole punch that we just cut out, and I'm going to use it to stick the PCB to the back side of the LCD. Stick it down like that, peel the other side, and then we can stick that down just like that. Now before we peel the cover off of the screen, I'm going to stick down our screen lens. So we're going to peel this back, and we're just gonna stick it onto the front of the shell, just like that. I'm gonna leave the plastic on the front, then we're gonna quickly peel this off and set it down. You're gonna wanna put it all the way up against the top, and to make sure that the screen is centered, you're gonna wanna push the screen all the way to the right side when you're setting it down. But for now, we're gonna set this down, and we're gonna put our buttons in. B on the inside, A on the outside. D-pad only goes in one way. We're gonna take our membranes, slap those on, and start and select as all membranes, so we can just shove that in there. If you're worried about things shorting, you can always get some Kapton tape, or if you don't want to buy Kapton tape for one project, you can take the film that was over the top of the screen and put that right there over the little daughter board, and then we can put the motherboard on top of it. Make sure you get that speaker lined up there. Then we can go ahead and screw it down with the rest of those small Phillips screws. Same 3 holes as before. Then we can take the last piece of the ribbon cable and slide it into the slot. The slot should still be open from earlier. Then once all those gold lines are invisible, and this is pushed as far in as possible, we can go ahead and lock those 2 tabs down again. And then hopefully your touchpad up here should just be lined up. If you want to, you can go ahead and double-sided tape that to the top of the plastic. We can go ahead and put our power switch in on the power switch slot. And I'm actually going to steal the original IR cover because the one that's included is opaque. It is not see-through like the original is. And this is super scratched up, but I guess we don't have a choice. It really only matters if you want to play one of the very few IR games or games that use the IR blaster. And then from here, we can take our back half, smush it on in, and I'm going to go ahead and test this before we put those last tri-wing screws in. Yeah, the touchpad, you don't need the double-sided tape. It will just work. And if you press and hold it, it'll change the different graphic modes. So you can have it in black and white for some reason, with all sorts of different grid lines. And everything checks out. And now that everything is checked out good, we can go ahead and put those last 6 tri-wing screws in, and you're good to go. Go play some games. Well, hopefully all of that satisfies you. But that's it for me, so like, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later, guys. What, you're expecting more funny stuff? I gave this video my all. I have nothing else to whip out.